Good morning, this is KIN339 back with the weekly updates about everything sports psychology related. This week's highlights are going to be covered by our Team 4 LB All-Stars with myself, Natalie, Curtis, and Anthony. Without further ado, highlight number 1 comes from Kelly McGonigal with her TED Talk in 2013. Being a health psychologist, her goal is to help others become healthier through their mental well-being. For years, she believes stress only causes negative consequences until a certain study changed her perspective. It showed how people who experience a lot of stress could be split into two categories: those who viewed stress as harmful and those who saw it as beneficial. The results showed that only those who viewed it as harmful experienced a higher risk of dying, while those who saw it as beneficial actually had the lowest risk of dying from anyone in the study. This works by the body responding to stress differently depending on how we feel and think about the stress we are experiencing. Also, social factors affect stress much more than originally thought, with those who actively help others releasing more oxytocin, which improves the body's response to stress. This really connected to me for my personal life by allowing myself to seek help and offer others help to others. This also improved my sports life by understanding my body is just preparing for what is about to happen. That is it for Kelly McGonigal, and now I will be passing it over to Natalie for the second highlight.
Thank you, Kai, for that introduction to our highlight segment. I'm Natalie, and I'm going to be covering highlight number 2. For this highlight number 2, the star of the show is Victoria Garrick, and the play on mental awareness in athletes. She battles with not only that negative stress you mentioned, Kai, but also struggles with negative effects on perfectionism. Social facilitation played a key role in her success to get to the top, but maintaining being there was a struggle. The report shows that Garrick was able to turn things around and take charge of her game, but not without a battle. Let's take a closer look at how things went. Anxiety led her into a fear of failure mindset, which impacted her motivation in a different way than how she had originally started, having a fiery competitive drive. She fell into a hole of avoidance of failure. She felt like she was drowning. That fiery drive kept her afloat, though, and led her to seek some way out. Garrick points out the importance of seeking tools to manage stress. By having those stress management tools, it allows a reset and set her on a path to longevity and success. I felt like her story moved me, and I could relate to being a perfectionist. I have let perfectionism cripple me, and I have learned from this segment that it's important to have a good balance of flexibility and adaptability with being a perfectionist. I will also take a page out of Garrick's book and start utilizing more stress management tools so I can stay on top of my game. That's all in this segment. On to you, Curtis.
Thank you for that presentation, Natalie. My course highlight is about arousal level regulation. Arousal level is basically the amount of attention you put into an activity. Having too much or too little arousal can actually hinder your performance. You want it to be right in the middle and in the optimal level of arousal. So this first shot here is going to be my buddy Nate. He's going to have minimal arousal level, so he's going to be bored, not really attentive to the activity. As you can see, performance wasn't the best. The second example is going to be him with too much arousal. So this comes into like game tying situations, so much pressure on the line. Here we go. Yeah. So this next shot is going to be him with an optimal arousal level. So basically, you're going to see him doing a pre-shot routine, everything, get the jitters out, and this is the arousal level you want to be for maximum performance. And yeah, that's arousal level regulation. Straight to you, Anthony.
Thank you, Curtis, for those amazing live examples. And for our final highlight, we have imagery. Imagery can be used to motivate and control our emotions to cope with what we are struggling with. It can also improve our physical, emotional, and cognitive skills. One of the ways we can do that is using the PetLab imagery script to guide us in the use of imagery. You have your physical to adopt the correct stance, uniform, and implementations of it. an environment mimicking the competitive scene of it, the task what you actually want to perform during the performance, timing, imagining it in real time, the learning you can change imagery as vividness improves, your emotion experience during the performance, and the perspective can either be internal or external depending the athlete. With that, we can use imagery to help improve all of those things with our emotional, cognitive, and physical skills. With that, we can conclude that Kai, he found with Kelly McGonigal, stress can be either harmful or beneficial. With it being harmful, it can hurt someone and just be degrading to them. With it being beneficial, it can just improve their life significantly. With Natalie, she found it, Victoria Garrick, she used social facilitation to improve her performance and handle her stress management to fight her anxiety. And finally, we have Curtis, live examples of arousal regulation, low, high, and optimal level, showing how it can be during a live performance. And finally, we have imagery with me, showing that we can use it to help us with our physical, emotional, and cognitive skills by implementing the PetLab imagery script. This is the LB All-Stars. Our motivation is A+ confidence. Signing out.